Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about the first return from the Babylonian Captivity, from the 5th book of Redemptive History series, The Promise of the Eternal Covenant. In 538 BC, God stirred up the heart of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah. Ezra 1:1 states, "Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, in order to fulfill the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, so that he sent a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and also put it in writing." Here the word stirred used is in Hebrew, which means to rouse, to excite, or to awaken. The causative stem of the word was used, indicating that God had compelled King Cyrus's heart to be moved. In 538 BC, King Cyrus made a proclamation. Ezra 1 verses 2-3 states, "Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he has appointed me to build him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Whoever there is among you of all his people, may his God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and rebuild the house of the Lord, the God of Israel. He is the God who is in Jerusalem." Here, it states that the sole purpose of Cyrus's proclamation for the Israelites' return was to build the temple in Jerusalem. Then the heads of fathers' households of Judah and Benjamin, the priest, the Levite, and everyone whose spirit was stirred by God arose to go to Jerusalem. And this is stated in Ezra 1 verse 5. Everyone. God stirred up the spirit of Cyrus so that he would command the construction of the house of God in order to fulfill the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah. Prophet Jeremiah prophesied in detail concerning the restoration of the temple, which would consequently restore the worship. He prophesied that God will have vengeance for his temple, for the temple had been disgraced and trampled, and there will be offerings brought into the temple again. The foremost task for those who returned from Babylon was to rebuild the temple and restore their temple-centered worship to God. They would then recover their identity as God's elect. The people of Israel, who returned from exile, began the construction work of the temple in 536 BC. However, the reconstruction work came to a halt due to the relentless interferences by the Samaritans. Thus, the construction of the temple has ceased for about 16 years. Then in 520 BC, God raised up the prophets Haggai and Zechariah in order to stir up the spirit of Zerubbabel and Joshua, as well as that of all the people. Then the reconstruction work resumed on the 24th day of the 6th month in 520 BC. Then the temple was completed in about 4 years and 5 months on the 3rd day of the 12th month in 516 BC. This was 70 years after the temple of Jerusalem was destroyed in 586 BC. Hence, Jeremiah's prophecy that Israel will return after completing 70 years in Babylon was fulfilled without fail. Beloved Saints, the driving force behind the first return from the Babylonian captivity and the reconstruction of the temple was the word of God proclaimed by prophets Haggai and Zechariah. The word of God is living and active. His word is so powerful that it grows mightily and prevails. I pray that as we listen to this word today, we will be living and active. The word of God is the driving force in establishing, reviving, and rebuilding us, our family, our workplace, and church. I bless in the name of the Lord.